background of the knowledge that he did. That's why he was very lonely. So he really enjoyed being with Mary Magdalene so that he could talk about these things. So she was like a favorite, and they would spend many hours just away from the other disciples just talking. And the other men disciples were jealous, especially Peter. And there are many accounts of how he tried to undermine her as to why are you giving a woman all of this attention and these responsibilities. This is also in the Lost Gospels of the Bible. If you can find those, they're in any library. Some people write to me and say, where can I find this information? One is the Gospel of Thomas. There are many lost Gospels that are in the records if you want to go to the library and find them. And I especially encourage you to find the Drama of the Lost Disciples. There are many other books also about the adventures that Jesus had when he was a young boy there in England. And I really thank my readers for putting me in touch with all of this information. And I know I probably haven't touched on all of it. I'm trying to just do it out of my memory right now. But I tell people to ask lots and lots of questions, then make up your own mind. Don't do it because someone says this is the way it is. Ask questions, make up your own mind, and then decide what you want to believe. Your truth may not be my truth may not be your truth. But if you question and ask your own self, you will find what is right for you. Then you're beginning to walk on the path of knowledge to where you can find more and more, and your mind will grow, and more information will come to you. I'm sure there's a great deal more about the story of Jesus that I haven't included. I'm trying to finish up these last tie up the loose ends on the other ones that I have opened up. A few weeks ago, I believe it was right before Christmas, I started telling the story about life after death from my book, Between Death and Life. And in the hour we had, I didn't get to finish it. There was a whole lot more than I didn't touch on. So I would like to continue with that now so that we can tie up those loose ends. There's so much information in my books. I talk for days sometimes, do week-long seminars, so I can go on for several weeks here before we even have any guests about all the information that is contained in the books. So in the book Between Death and Life, it is a compilation of 15, 20 years of my research. That when I compiled all of the things that people told me in regression of what it was like to die and where you went afterwards. Now, I've done thousands and thousands of people, and when I take them through the death experience in the past life, they were all saying the same thing, all reporting a similarity. Now, if you have a past life regression by someone, it is very important to go through the death experience in that past life, because a lot of the things that are affecting the person in this lifetime go back to the way they died in the other lifetime. Because this can be causing trauma, it can be causing phobias, it can cause physical effects, physical diseases, and problems in this lifetime. So it's very important for the hypnotist to take the person through the death experience. A lot of them are afraid to. They always worry about what if something will happen to the actual physical body of the person now if they go through maybe a traumatic past life. I have not found that to happen. I've done thousands and thousands of cases, and they have died in every way you can possibly imagine. And I've never had anyone be affected by going through the death experience. They have, in fact, benefited by it because they have found the answers to some of their problems in this lifetime. Of course, any of these things should only be attempted by qualified hypnotists who know what they're doing. It's like anything else. If you don't understand the procedure, and if you don't understand what to watch for, there could be harm. But it's only because of inexperience or someone trying to do something, try something different that they have not worked with before. When I teach my classes, I'm very adamant about this, that you must take care of the person, you must protect them, and be conscious of their welfare at all times when you are working with them. Anyway, when I did this about 3 weeks ago, I believe, I talked about how you died, what the body felt like whenever the person dies, and I began talking about where the person goes on the other side, that I found 3 different places where the person would go according to their development. It all has to do with vibrations and frequencies. If these vibrations and frequencies don't mesh, you wouldn't be able to go to these different levels. You can only proceed as far as your abilities will take you, your development will take you. You can't go to the higher levels where the masters are until you're all ready to get there. You have to go through the lessons of life, and before you're allowed to proceed. It's like a school. I've said that before. Life is a school. And then this is a school where you can repeat a grade, but you can't skip a grade. You can't go any faster than your development. And if you don't do good in the class, you're going to have to come back and do it again. So the same thing happens on the other side. Whenever you pass over, you will go to the place that you are suitable with, you are compatible with. Now, hopefully, you may go back to the same place that you left, but hopefully you're not going to go down lower to another level. The idea is to progress upward, to keep going up the ladder to where you finally get to the point that you don't have to come back anymore. That's the whole idea. But because of the lessons of life, a lot of times people have to take it over again. But I found the 3 places that they went to, and I reported in the last talk about the first level. This was the lower astral. And that's where the people who were earthbound spirits, those who had died from drug overdoses or alcohol, the ones who were in the lower echelon, I guess you would say, the ones who were not aware of the spiritual part of themselves. They were very much into the physical, and they didn't understand. They had a soul. They didn't understand what happened to them when they did die and when they crossed over. And many of them were earthbound and stayed here. But I also talked about how you have a guide who is with you your entire life. And this guide will meet you and take you where you're supposed to go. I call them the greeters. They were never alone. They would always take you to where you're supposed to go. But some of the earthbound spirits are not aware of these greeters, these guides that are there. And they keep trying to get back into a body, trying to get back into the physical world, try to go back to where they lived, because this is all they knew. They didn't know anything about spiritual development and about what it was all about to proceed and go on to the other levels. They were more or less stuck. And I also talked about the middle astral, which most people associate with the version of heaven. This was a place very much like what we're told heaven is like. Very beautiful. There are lots of houses on the sides of the hills, and you can live in any kind of a house that you wanted to. There was music in the air, beautiful colors beyond imagination. This beautiful, wonderful place that you could spend eternity, or so the person thinks. And you could live in these houses with your families that had deceased or with friends, and they think more or less heaven is continuation of the life they had just left. And it's all right for a while. The problem is you can't stay there, because in life you accumulate karma. There are lessons to be learned. And you cannot go over there to remain until you have worked out the karma and have finished this life's lessons. So sooner or later, these people would have to go before the board and go over their life lessons and review the karma, and then have to agree to come back and repay the karma with those that they have harmed in some way in the previous life. And as I said before, too, there is no one judging you like the church wants to tell you. There is no one there with an iron fist or a rod judging you and saying you're going back to be punished or you're going to be thrown into hell. There is no one like that there. You review your life with your guides and the masters and the elders. They'll go over it and point out a lot of different things. And you see what you have done. You see those you have hurt. You see how even what you said to them made a big difference. And you are the one who judge yourself. You see what you have done, and then you say, I didn't realize it hurt them like that. I must go back and repay this. You judge yourself. You are the ones that decide what kind of punishment, if you want to call it that you will receive when you come back. You are the ones that write the script, so to speak. You are the judge, and there can be no harsher judge than you yourself. And I've been told that the quickest way to get rid of karma, but not necessarily the easiest way, is just to forgive. Forgive the person and let it go. Don't dwell on it. Just cut it loose and let it go. And people tell me, I can't. You don't know what that person did to me. I can't just let it go. If you don't, you're going to have to come back and do it again with the same people, because you can't go on until you have repaid all of this and let it go and just tear up the contract and release it. And then comes one of the hardest parts, is forgiving yourself. Many people can't do that. But this is all what is part of it, because then the next time around, or maybe the rest of this life will be easier, but the next time around will definitely be easier, because you'll be going into a different kind of a message, a different kind of lesson in the school as we progress through the different grades. Anyway, we had got as far as the upper astral, which is the part that I like. That's the part that I consider what heaven would really be like, because that would be the most fascinating of all. The upper astral, where I told you about the Temple of Wisdom complex. The Temple of Wisdom has all of these many, many different parts. The one part was where the Temple of Healing was, and I spoke about that. I'm trying to keep from repeating a lot of the same information, because you can download the other talks. The Temple of Healing, and then the Tapestry Room, which is the Tapestry of Life, and it shows that each one of us has a thread in the